Rolling?
And,
Are we rolling?
yeah, oh, I can change your color. I want you to be yellow. I'll
What if I
be...
don't want to be yellow?
Okay, you can be purple.
Alright, this is Golem Gates.
It is. It is Golem
In
Gates.
early access now on Steam uh, by the fine folks at Laser Guided Games.
This game is really cool looking. And I
It's.
am really bad at it. I just want to put that out there right now. If you are looking for pro strats, turn the stream off.
Oh, good. Well, you know us, we're always about the pro stats.
Look, if you want me to
It's
juggle
everything we do.
bears, I can do it.
Pro bear juggling strats.
Yes.
Um, Mute voice chat in game. So yeah, so there's a the core. Okay, there's a campaign mode. There's a versus mode. Like you can see all the kind of things at the top there. There's a dedicated PVE co-op though, which is survival.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're checking out here. We might. I thought I saw something underneath versus that's versus AI. I don't know then if like two players can go up against two AI guys. We're gonna check that out maybe at the end here. But the main thing here, the main catch to Golem Gates is that it's a deck-based RTS. So you create your own decks called glyph books using
They look
your
like...
cards, which are called glyphs. And those are basically like your units, your abilities, your defenses like turrets and stuff like that. And so those come at you randomly, and you can summon them with like your energy meter, which will go over all the different bars and stuff. But like the action of it, it's so the thing I really like, the idea wise, is using decks. Like I'm a fan of games that use card based anything, right? The thing that's sort of weird though is when you mesh that with RTS, you're really at a you are underneath the influence of random factors far more than I feel like you should be in an RTS game. So, you know what cards presumably are in your deck. You don't know what order they're coming up in, but you know what cards are there, so you have some idea. Like, the whole card-based mechanic is like you're supposed to have some idea of what combos you can do, what strategies you have. But since everything is constantly moving and changing in an RTS game, that makes it really tough when you don't know, okay, I have these things, but I don't know if this card that I really need is going to come up next or it's 20 cards down, and I can't wait because my ass is getting handed to me. So, it's a weird, interesting idea. It's still in early access, though, so I mean, like, there's things that they can obviously tweak and change.
So should we
How,
just go into the match?
Yeah, let's go into survival, and Nick, go ahead and ask questions while we're...
yeah, I was gonna say, how similar is it to? I think it was Battle Forge was the old EA game that
Yeah,
was.
I played the hell out of that.
Yeah, and that was a card based RTS, where it was kind of a lot of those things with. And I think Mike, you played the.
I did. It's different.
Yeah.
It's different. Let's see. My starting hand. Let's see. Pacifism, that's a good one. Infantry. Heal bot.
Ooh, yeah, my legendary guy. Okay. Not hold on to him for right now.
Bonus glyphs. Flame turret. Yeah. Alright. I'm ready. Survive for 15 minutes. If we make it 5, that'll be a victory.
Alright, so here we are on the battlefield. I got my little thing here that's going to send out. Alright, whoa, so we're on opposite sides of the map from each other. I guess that's good.
Let's see if I can find the other dude.
So I'll talk about it some while Mike's going through his stuff over there. But at the bottom row there, that's all your glyphs, all your cards, and you drag and drop to bring them onto the field. In order to cast them, you have to use energy, which is that bar that's right above it that like keeps ticking up and down. They all require different amounts of energy, different things in order to actually cast them and bring them into the world. And as you go through, so there's these capture points that help give you energy.
You're under attack.
Yeah, they came at me already.
Awesome.
This game has some crazy fog of war.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. So you can only bring things into your like onto the thing that are visible, right?
Right.
So like you can't cast something outside of your range scope, whatever, and that makes it actually kind of tough sometimes because it's like if it's right on the edge or something like that, there's nothing you can do. It's just like, oh, sorry, move your guys 2 feet down or whatever so you can see. The thing that so that's like I've had that kind of bite me in the butt sometimes where I can't see a guy and I don't have a way of getting to a guy until like I move 2 feet or something around some obstacle, right? So there's also like a pathfinding thing. And pathfinding isn't always great in this game. Like there's stuff where
you
it's
can
just
actually
like,
see it do its pathfinding, which is kind of
yeah,
neat.
yeah, that's nice. But then I've had that bite me in the butt sometimes where I'm just like, okay, like I put up my defenses so stuff can't come through, but then my guys can't go through it, right? So,
Right.
that's stuff that may get fixed eventually that they'll kind of tweak and solve.
I have gotten almost nothing but structures.
Yeah, so there you go. There's the randomness factor, right? Like right now,
I can't cast any of my other units, but I can cast structures. What is this? Structural shock. Stun all structures in the radius. Okay.
and so like okay, I just used a spell on some guys. Well, Mike's dealing with his own stuff down there, so it's tough to see. But for instance, I just cast a spell on some guys because there's a lot of them, right? So it's like, okay, let me clear out this mob group using this one spell. Good in practice, good idea. Problem being, now I don't have enough energy to cast any other units. And so it's like, okay, well, maybe I should have cast some other units, but considering I was outnumbered like 7-1, what was the better option there? Because then there was more, guys outside of whatever that thing was, the spell that I cast. So it's just, it's the risk reward, the balancing thing. I haven't quite found a good, I haven't found quite that right sweet spot for it yet. And it's not always clear, like, how you're supposed to be managing some of this stuff. So like in a traditional RTS, it's pretty clear, oh, okay, I build up my base like this, I do this, and I Zerg rush, or I have this other whatever, kind of stratagems, right? Those things that you kind of feel like now are just the set chess moves, more or less, of an RTS. I have a hard time figuring that out with a game like this because, like I said, there's just so much randomness when it comes to what units do you get in what order, and is that actually something that's beneficial to you at the time? And when do you cast them, right? Do you wait? Is there like I really shouldn't do this right now because I might, have something good around the corner and I should use it for that? Or, what's the kind of balance that you do with all of that? It's like I said, it's a very interesting idea. I like kind of what they're going for with this. I'm not quite sure what that sweet spot or what the ideal way of doing this is just yet. I think that's part of it is just trying to figure out, like, is it that I need more cards, right? Like, do I need to play more and get more cards, or is it just there's no real clear condition with it like you would find somewhere else. So now that you've seen it, is this like Battleforge?
No. Battleforge was, well, I mean, a little bit, because Battleforge, you would, draw cards, and that would be the guys you could play, and different cards use different amounts of power. If I remember correctly, like there was a whole like element thing or something going on in Battleforge. It's been a while. This is a lot more slower paced. Battleforge was more KPS, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, you guys have survived more than 5 minutes, though.
I know.
It's
Mike's
true.
doing pretty well. He advanced to the second capture point down there. It stinks that there's only one other one. I don't know if we share. I don't know if we do or not.
I have a pretty hefty bar at this point, so let's see. Send out my... Oh, my Harbinger is... I see. Uh-oh.
I need to get these guys actually out of my base because causing all my heal bots just to heal them instead of
Let's
healing my
see.
other
What is this?
It kind of stinks that you guys don't start near each other. Like, it's tough to tell, like, what the co-op would actually entail.
Yeah, with if we're like combined forces or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just, what is it? What benefit is there to having the two players?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Because I have 371 energy right now because of how much I've captured.
I have 372,
Okay.
376, 77.
It climbs over time. There's a rate. And you can micromanage each unit, right? So you can say each one's going to attack. You can say, I want you to defend this point. So let's say hold. How are you doing?
And what happens when you use your whole deck?
So there's another interesting thing. There's a cooldown. So if you use your whole deck, then you have to shuffle it, and that is a 15-minute or a 15-second time period for that to happen. And that 15 seconds, you cannot give commands, you cannot cast other spells, so you can't do anything. So it's okay, you now have to decide when do you want to shuffle. I've got my legendary unit on the board, my Spider King.
Alright, so I'm being super attacked right now.
Yeah, I just had a big wave come through.
Pacify this asshole.
The other issue, the other problem I have is I can't tell what units are what.
Yeah, it's very difficult to parse
So-
visually sometimes.
I'm just like, are those my melee? Oh no, those are my range guys. Oops, okay, I shouldn't send those range guys in that close,
Alright, so let's tuck in a little bit.
Let's just go explore over there and see what there is to see.
Let's see. You are a jerk. So let's see, I'll put another turret here. Some more guards. Yes. And now stasis time.
You can do the same sort of similar idea that you can do in other RTSs, so you can form squads, right? Use like control and
Yeah.
all right, this group of guys is going to be my control whatever group, and these are my control 2, control 3, and so on. Ooh, I can summon my gelatinous blob. Oh, sorry, gelatinous orb. That on death will summon 2 smaller units.
Nice.
So yeah, so the survive, the rest of the game, like in particularly the verses, has more of a almost MOBA-ish feel to it. So you have each side has what's known as a Golem gate, and hence the title. So your goal is to destroy the other player's Golem gate. And they're the same capture points that Mike went to and I'm standing by and stuff like that. Those are scattered around the map, and obviously those are to your benefit because then whoever controls them has more energy to use in order to summon stuff and regenerates their energy faster. So it's sort of like you're competing to get those, which are your resources, but then you're also trying to build up your armies enough to go take on the other opponent and blow up their stuff. Got a pretty good force going here. Oh, I can only have one Spider King in play at a time.
Come on.
Just 3 more minutes. Hold up here pretty well.
Yeah, you guys are doing well. Or Mike
Surprisingly.
is.
Oh, jeez, Jason, you're just turtled.
Yeah.
See, I'm just guarding this other gate.
I know how to survive.
Think you get over here so you don't get picked off.
Put up your shell. Stay put.
How about a second destroyer and a mine and a
Uh-oh, here comes a big guy.
target has a tech shield.
Sounds like you're getting the nasty stuff down there.
Yeah. This guy can't be hurt by just die already. Gotcha.
I guess the amazing part of all this that I'm just now realizing is none of these guys have thought to go around this big building to where I have nothing on my flank.
Right.
Down to a minute to go. They're getting antsy. They're sending them in.
Yeah, they're getting feisty.
I don't know if they actually have enough time to reach both of us and get through our defenses, though. So I can probably turtle up behind my shields.
Yeah. I have the Spider Master and the Spider King.
Ah, the Spider King. Hold. Here, have another turret. We did it. Jason, we did it. We
I'm
won.
gonna come say hi. Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Well done.
Spider Master and Spider King here to say what's up.
Victory.
Locke, they set the bar high for us.
Yeah, you gotta win. I think this character they've cooked up with for the Harbinger looks pretty cool.
Yep. Now look, and they got graphs. Oh, see, that's what every game needs.
Let's
graphs.
look. I don't know which one of us is which. Oh, it's...
I'm purple, remember?
That's right. Oh, you can see where I nuked my hand in all the fights.
Yep.
That's
oh, wow,
cool.
so they peek there. You can see the building string.
Match rewards. Alright. Let's see. These rando spinny loot, these satisfying things.
Oh man, we got tons of stuff.
Geometric shapes. Let's see.
Give me all
Boom.
the loots.
A
Give me
poison
sweet,
trap
sweet loots.
and a relocate. Teleport your harbinger.
Assassins.
Essence summoning.
Assassino.
Alright, let's see what my rare card is. Oh, 80 doodads.
So yeah, so those the doodads are
You use those to forge new cards, essentially.
yes, yeah. So you can make glyphs that you specific glyphs that you
Forge.
want. It looked like if I remember correctly.
Oh man, it's 100, at least 100 per, and we only got 80 for our match.
I mean, that ain't bad,
It's true. It's true.
all things considered.
I could forge a summon trap. Does this Yu-Gi-Oh?
You just triggered my trap glyph.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, and they cycle those glyphs daily too. So
Mhm.
it's there's different ones you can come in, and I'm sure it's like you can break down. You can only have 3 of a card in your, or 3 of a glyph in your deck or whatever. So I'm sure there's ways to break those down for that thing. So real quick, go to versus and do versus AI. We'll just see if we can do a team.
It says selecting this option will force other players to be kicked.
Ah, well then, never mind. I guess not. So,
Alrighty.
yeah, so that's it. That's it for the co-op offerings and Golem Gates as a survival. Like I said, I think there's something here. I'm curious. It's another one of those games where, as development continues, as they do stuff with it, I'll be curious to check in. The biggest things for me so far, I think, really, when it comes to playing it, is there's something has to get down better with the whole card drawing playing mechanic, and also it's an RTS game. Like, there's just something about that needs to gel a little bit better. From just a gameplay perspective.
I think for me, it's some of the units look too similar. So like
Yeah,
the big guys
that's
are all
the second
unique
thing.
and easy to distinguish, and the turrets and stuff are pretty okay. But some of those low level dudes all look the same, and maybe they're supposed to because you want to use better cards. But
Yeah, I'm not
right
sure.
now
I mean,
it's kind of like, what's this guy do?
yeah. I mean, that's something else, like, as a secondary thing or whatever for me, is the sameness of those. But yeah, I think I'll be curious to see sort of how this develops, and maybe we'll check back in with it later time once they do some big updates. But yeah, if you're looking for something a little bit different, I mean, the you don't have to it looks like you don't have to do the versus matches in order to get new glyphs and new cards, so it's totally viable to play through the survival with a buddy and see how well you can do, how high you can crank that difficulty, how much you can make your graphs look better. And that's all we got with that. I think Nick and Locke, give us a second here. We're going to switch over to Nick streaming, and we're going to check out Synthetic.